What is up everyone, Hero276 here, and welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. Today, we will be running Magneton in the Evolution Cup. Magneton is a Steel and Electric type Pokemon with the moveset of Thunder Shock, Zap Cannon, and Magnet Bomb. Because Magneton is double weak to ground type attacks, we'll be pairing it up with the Grass type Grovyle and the Ice type Piloswine. So this team, overall, pretty well rounded with one exception, which you'll see later in the battles. But overall, I had a pretty decent success rate with this team. I think my set was like 57% win rate. So not spectacular, but pretty decent overall. So before I dive into today's video, which will comprise of a set of some random battles, there's no official sets or anything like that. These are just a compilation of battles. But before I dive into all of that, I just want to give a special shout out to my Spotify page. If you're enjoying the music used in this video and other videos, please consider checking out my Spotify page. You can find access to all the music. If you want to buy my albums, they're $4.99, or you can just follow me on the Spotify page to keep up with all my latest releases and to listen to the music for free. That being said, let's dive right into today's video.
Alright, and hopping directly into the first game, leading Grovyle into Hakamoto. This is a pretty decent lead for us because we do carry Aerial Ace, which hits for super effective damage. Opponent tries to catch it onto his Zweilous, but I'm able to pivot into my Piloswine. Piloswine here definitely has an okay matchup, hitting for super effective damage with the Powder Snows and the Avalanches. Unfortunately though, we do lose the CMP tie. We have to burn a shield on the Dark Pulse, and my opponent lets the Avalanche go through. So at the very least, we do have switch advantage. They send in their own Piloswine. I'm able to get to the Avalanche on the CMP tie. The opponent decides to commit their first shield, and with that, I'm going to let my own Piloswine go down. From here, I'm going to send in the Magneton because we are resisting the Powder Snows. The only real threatening damage that they can do is with the high horsepower, which is significantly more expensive than my Magnet Bomb, which I'm able to get to fairly quickly. I decide to go for the Magnet Bomb. I grab the shield, so I send in Grovyle to do sort of a combo play, going for the Leaf Blade. They send in Hakamoto, and I'm very concerned about a Dragon Tail farm down, because I'm not going to be able to make it to 2 moves. Dragon Tails do get the farm down. Hakamoto is low, however, so all I need to do is shield up, and I need to make it to a Magnet Bomb so that way I can take out the Hakamoto. Opponent makes it to a Brick Break. Magneton is glassy. Can we survive it? Yes, we can. We make it to the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb will grab the knockout and give us the win. Hopping into game number 2, picking up a lead into Vigoroth. Not a great lead because our quick attacks are heavily outdamaged by the counters, but we do have similar pacing and I am able to make it to a Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade here, going to be grabbing a shield from my opponent, and now I'm going to shield in return because I want this Vigoroth out of here so my backline, which is very weak to counter, doesn't have to face it. Going to go for another Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade is going to do some solid damage onto the Vigoroth. Vigoroth is going to throw their energy, and I'm actually going to go down 2 shields because I just want the Vigoroth out of here, or I want all shields down. So what I'm going to look to do is go for the Leaf Blade as soon as I get it, not risking the overfarm. Leaf Blade, going to KO the Vigoroth, and we do preserve alignment. They send in Dragonair, I send in Piloswine, and in the back they have Charjabug. So their backline is core broken up against the Piloswine. Gonna go for the Avalanche. Avalanche is survivable by the Charjabug, but it does a lot of damage. From here, the only damaging move they can throw is X-Scissor. As you're going to see, it doesn't do too much damage. I'm going to look to go for the Avalanche on the CMP tie. Avalanche from here is going to grab the opponent's final shield, and it's time to take a risk. Piloswine here is going to go down to the X-Scissor. I'm going to fully wait my switch clock, and they're on their 3 cycle here. They get to the X-Scissor in 3 moves, so what I'm going to look to do is farm up the energy, switch into Grovyle to catch the charge move, which is the X-Scissor. X-Scissor's going to KO. And can I get the farm down? I cannot. I'm going to have to eat another charge move, but this is resisted energy, and Charjabug does not hit very hard, so it should be okay here. In comes the Dragonair. I'm going to go straight for the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb looks like it can 2-shot, so I'm able to get off my second Magnet Bomb, and this will secure the win, as Magnet Bomb takes out the Dragonair. Hopping to game number 3, picking up a lead up against Charjabug. Not a great lead for us, so I'm going to look to do is pivot immediately into my hard counter, which is Piloswine. This is generally ill-advised, but I find that a lot of teams are actually weak to Piloswine's counter coverage of both ice and ground attacks. The opponent sends in Hakamo'o, but this is not a good matchup for them, as I am able to hit for massive super effective damage here with the Avalanche. Unfortunately, these Dragon Tails are also doing a lot of damage, so I'm going to have to shield myself. We're farming up. I'm going to overfarm a little bit here, giving them the impression that I'm going to make it to the back-to-back to hopefully entice them to just let this go through, but they shield it up. One more Powder Snow, and I'm able to make it to another Avalanche. So I preserve both shield advantage and switch advantage, but now I'm going to lose my lone Charjabug counter to the Vigoroth. Vigoroth farms down. I send in Grovyle. Grovyle here, I'm not even going to preserve it because I'm hoping that Magneton is going to be able to clean house, and we're going to be able to connect here with the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade is going to get the Vigoroth nice and low. It's a fast move race. Vigoroth gets the farm down. I send in the Magneton, and they're expending energy here. The opponent definitely making a misplay because all this energy is resisted. They send back in the Charjabug. I'm going to be able to connect here with the Zap Cannon after committing my final shield. Gonna block the X-Scissor here and go for the Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon here. I'm hoping it's enough damage to take out the Charjabug, and it is, and the Thunder Shocks KO the Vigoroth as we secure the win. Heading into game number 4 as we pick up an excellent lead into Shadow Marshtomp. Opponent is going to switch out of this matchup into a Dragonair, and I respond with the Magneton. Magneton here doesn't have a phenomenal matchup, so I will have to shield up this Aqua Tail. The opponent is going to get my first shield, and I'm going to farm up to the back-to-back Magnet Bombs. Magnet Bomb is going to do big damage if they let it go through. They block it, so I'm going to go for the second. This will not KO from this health range, but it will do some solid damage. The opponent is going to get the Dragon Breath farm down. I'm not able to make it to a second charge move, and I have a choice to make here. I think I'm going to send in the Piloswine, since the Piloswine can tank the energy a lot better than Grovyle can, so the opponent is going to throw a charge move. It is only the Body Slam, and I have no idea why they're throwing this because Body Slam is only neutral where Aqua Tail is super effective, but I'm not going to complain. Piloswine definitely caught a break, farming up, and I switch into the Grovyle to catch their charge move. Now here, in this moment, I thought I caught either a Mud Bomb or a Surf, which both would have been resisted, but I catch a Sludge, so that's not good. And then in the back, they have a shiny Charjabug. So now it's all up to a low health Piloswine to clutch me this game. Gonna go for the Avalanche. Avalanche should be grabbing a shield here. Avalanche does grab the shield. I have to shield up this charge move as anything would take me out from this health range. They go for the Crunch. I'm farming up, and right on the CMP tie, I'm throwing my next Avalanche. Avalanche should pick up the knockout here. All I need to do is survive the Mud Shots versus the Marshtomp, and I make it to an Avalanche. Avalanche should pick up the knockout versus the Marshtomp, and we secure the win. Hopping into the next one, and we see a lead into Celio. Celio is definitely a problem spot, as it does well up against both the Piloswine and the Grovyle, but Grovyle has to stay in here, and Leaf Blade is actually going to do some very solid damage. I go for the Leaf Blade, I grab the shield, and I'm going to be shielding in return. If they're staying in this matchup, they're probably weak to Grovyle somewhere else in the back, so I'm going to look to do is bank the Leaf Blade and switch and catch onto the Magneton, where the Body Slam is going to be resisted. That does not do a ton of damage, even for a Pokemon as glassy as Magneton, and they send in Primeape. Primeape here, not going to appreciate the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb is going to draw a shield, and my opponent gets the farm down. From here, I have to send in the Grovyle, but first, I'm going to wait my switch clock. I send in the Grovyle, I go for the Aerial Ace, but I lose CMP. Realistically, I should be going for Leaf Blade, but Aerial Ace in this is super effective, even though Leaf Blade is more cost effective. Gonna go for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace nearly picks up the knockout, and I get the farm down. Opponent sends in the Celio. I'm able to outpace to a Leaf Blade. All shields are down, so this Leaf Blade will KO. It's just going to come down to what's in the back, and it's Brionne. And at first, I thought it was fundamentally screwed here. However, Charm is so slow, and Brionne is so glassy, that a high horsepower here, despite the type disadvantage, is actually going to knock out the Brionne, and it will give us the win. Hopping into the penultimate match, picking up a lead up against Togetic. I have two better responses in the back. I'm going to switch into my Piloswine. And I'm actually met with a Dewosion. This is a Pokemon that I have not yet seen in this cup, so massive props to the opponent for the spice. Gonna go for the Avalanche. That's gonna pick up the shield. Hidden Power is such a slow move that what I'm gonna actually be able to do is force switch if I want to. So they shield, I'm shielding, I do lose CMP, but I go for the Avalanche, and this should threaten the knockout if my opponent lets it go through, but they double shield, and from here, I should be able to dictate switch advantage. I get the perfect over farm, making it to another Avalanche. This will secure the knockout, and now not only do I have switch advantage, but now I also have a shield advantage, and they send in Charge-a-Bug, but Piloswine able to make it to the high horsepower. I figured since I was only making it to one move, I might as well go for the move that'll do more damage. So Piloswine, I'm just gonna let it go down. I'm going to trust in Magneton with a shield, but first I'm going to send in the Grovyle, since the Grovyle from here is completely useless. I'm going to look to sack it. X-Scissor is going to nearly KO, but check this out. One more Volt Switch does not register. I'm able to bank a move for later and send in the Magneton. From here, I can really just shield anything at this point. We walled both the Togetix and the Charge-a-Bug's energy, so I decide to shield then. Opponent is going to send in the Togetic. This is likely just the Ancient Power. That doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and I'm able to make it to the Zap Cannon. This will be overkill onto the Togetic, and we take the win. I mentioned earlier that this team is not recommended, and here is why. Picking up a lead into Crocalor, and Crocalor's fire typing hits my entire team for super effective damage. I'm at least able to make it to an Aerial Ace, which will do some solid damage, but my opponent, rightly recognizing that there's value with the Crocalor, because I'm staying in such a negative matchup, is going to commit the shield. Now I'm going to send in the Piloswine. Piloswine is going to have to deal with all this energy from the Crocalor. They go for the Crunch. I get the defense fall, which is not good, and now I basically just lose this game. I lost it since the second I saw the Crocalor, and this is why you always think out your team compositions before starting a battle. I go for the Avalanche. Avalanche is going to draw the shield. They have Machoke in the back, and I just surrender because I know I lost. Despite the team having a very obvious weakness to fire, it worked out pretty well for me when I didn't see one. Much of the meta doesn't contain a whole lot of fire types outside of Crocalor, but Crocalor isn't too common in this meta, and in the games outside of the Crocalor, which there were 13 of them, I had 8 wins and 5 losses, which is a win rate of about 62%. As for Magneton itself, the feature of this video, it's very good with both shields and energy. It's very comparable to Qwilfish in the sense that it dominates once it has both of those things, but without them, tends to struggle. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.